We're so back. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. It has been so long since I've been active on YouTube and even TikTok. Like, I have not been active because I have been in the absolute worst book slump of my life. It started in October and it is currently March, and I think I'm finally starting to get out of it. I'm going to literally go through my Goodreads and tell you how many books I've read in those months, because whenever I tell you I have literally not read, it's like depressing because I want to read. I want to read so bad. I want to annotate. I want to sit down on a couch and read a book and not want to put it down so bad. Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. The book that put me in the reading slump was When the Moon Hatched. It took me so long to get through that book, and I hated it. I literally hated it. It put me in such a bad slump, and I don't know why. I will not be continuing that. I started it on, I have it here. I started it on September 18th and didn't finish it until October 2nd. That's insane. And then in October, I read 3 books. In November, I read 2, one of them being a poetry book. December 4, I listened to Matthew McConaughey's memoir or whatever. And then in January, I read 1. And then in the month of February, I read 3. So I read Onyx Storm, I read The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, and Rebel Witch, okay? I think I'm slowly but surely getting out of this slump. Onyx Storm honestly really helped. I really enjoyed that one way more than I did Iron Flame. Rebel Witch, Heartless Hunter was actually my favorite book of 2024, and that was just, I really liked Rebel Witch too. I think it was a great conclusion to the duology. So I figured what we're gonna do is, it is finally starting to get warm in Pittsburgh. It is 60 degrees outside. This is the first warm day. I think I'm going to pick out a book. We're gonna do a little reading vlog for like the next few books I read, and just trying to get out of this slump. You know, maybe we'll go book shopping. We will work in the reading journal. We will do all that stuff. Just getting like excited about books again. You know what I mean? I'm always excited about books, but it's just like, I don't know what the issue is. I'll sit down to read. I'll read a chapter and immediately pick up my phone. Another update, I don't know if any of you noticed, I moved into a new apartment. So I finally moved out of my parents' house. I'm in my big girl apartment and I am absolutely loving it. But I have 3 books right next to me, and I'm going to try to figure out which one I want to pick up. So first I have The Bridge Kingdom, which is the first book in, I think she does like duologies, but they're all set in the same world, just focused on different people, if I am thinking that correctly. So I have that one. I have Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, and then I also have the book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. I think I'm gonna go for Kennedy Ryan just because I just finished Rebel Witch, and before that I read a short book and I read Onyx Storm. So I've been in like a fantasy like bubble. So I think I'm gonna pick up Before I Let Go because I've heard really good things about this. So basically these 2 people got divorced, it fell apart, they are able to co-parent, but they're always drawn back together. So I feel like it's gonna be like, it's a second chance, obviously. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick out our annotations, we're gonna pack our bag, and we're gonna go the heck outside for once. Okay, it's been a few days. I haven't gotten super far, so I'm like that much into it. This is like one of the most heartbreaking books I think I've ever read. Reading it, it's like breaking my heart because it's these, you're getting 2 point of views, and Yasmin and Josiah, and they both are still so in love with each other and don't want either or the other to move on, and they both desperately want to fix what is broken, but they're not telling that to each other. So I kind of hate that, because it's like that miscommunication trope where it's like, if you guys would just talk to each other, this would all be fixed, this would all be fine. But I know obviously in books you can't always have that, and also in real life too, you know what I mean? Like, you don't always want to bring up certain subjects with other people, even if they are thinking the same exact things as you could never know it, and you just never bring it up. But it is literally heartbreaking, and also just the things that they went through and the loss and the grief that they are going through and have went through. This is definitely a book that represents grief in a way that I have never read before. It is another nice day in Pittsburgh. It's about 60 degrees, so we're gonna go back outside and we're gonna read some more. I'm hoping to get a little bit farther in the book. I'm really, really, really enjoying it. But it is making me sad, so I'm hoping that we get some happier moments here in a little bit, because right now it's breaking my freaking heart. It is really breaking my heart. Currently have you guys set up on my air fryer, and I am currently cooking noodles, and I'm gonna do butter noodles because that's just a comfort meal, and I am going to hopefully sit down and finish Before You Let Go. Is that what I'm reading? I don't even know what I'm reading at this point. It is a very slow burn. hold on, let me go get the book. Like, we are right here, we only have this much left, and they just finally like kissed and got together, which I think is like, that's a slow burn. Like, over halfway and you're just now kissing, that's a slow burn. One thing that I really love, they describe the female main character in the book. Whenever she does her hair, she puts like gold cufflinks in her braids or just in her hair, period. And look at the cover. I realize that there's like little gold specks. I just think that is so like, such like a cool little detail that they put in the cover. The female main character is a very, very strong-minded, and that is a very admirable trait to have. But in a way, I don't have kids, and I don't have an adult, like I am an adult, obviously. I'm living in my own apartment and everything like that. But I feel like, in a way, I think she's too harsh on her kids. That could just be me, and obviously, hey, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes she can be a little bit too harsh on her kids, but then again, I'm not a parent and I don't understand anything. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It is like very heartbreaking though, because it's like you guys love each other so much, and you don't realize like how much you both care for each other, and they've been through so much together, and they're just both so strong. I'm really liking it so far. Yeah, I'm excited to see how it's gonna end. I'm kind of ready for it to be over. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of like in the mood for maybe like a fantasy, or even just like my like the new Elsie Silver book, because I know I'm gonna like love her writing. Not that I don't like this writing. I'm contradicting myself so much in this clip. Oh my God. I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna go read. I'm gonna cook my noodles and eat and finish my Diet Coke. And then I will update you guys. Hopefully whenever I'm done with this book and we can pick the next one, I'll give you my final thoughts and everything. I finished Before I Let Go last night, and I finished off on a 3.75-ish rating, and mainly I really did enjoy it. There are a lot of very serious topics talked about in it, and just some things I just like can't relate to, so that was kind of hard. I feel like it's a very adult book for the things that they have went through, you know, divorce. It says this in the beginning, so it's not a spoiler, a stillborn baby. So there's just very adult topics that are talked about that I just personally can't relate to. And whenever I can't relate to a book, I know it's entertainment, but whenever I relate to a book, it makes me like it that much more. Or if I see myself in a character, it makes me like it that much more. The main reason why I rated it the way I did is because I feel like miscommunication is a huge trope in this, and I absolutely despise the miscommunication trope with everything in me. Honestly, this book could have been 2 chapters long if they just talked to each other about how they still love each other and care for each other and want to get back together. Like the whole last half of the book was basically them in their point of view saying how they want to be with the other one, but they don't want to bring it up. So that was kind of annoying. But yeah, it was definitely a raw and real book, and I definitely recommend it. It just wasn't like my favorite book ever. Again, the relatability of it for me just kind of set me off from, I feel like, other books that I've read. But not to say it wasn't a good book. It was obviously a very good book, and I feel like this could be a favorite for some other people. It just wasn't a favorite of mine. Because of that, I really don't want to end up back in this slump. So because this video is basically about me getting out of a slump, I'm between really wanting to go into a fantasy book. There's this book that has been going like completely viral on book platform out there, and it's called The Favorites. Let me get my Kindle app up. This has been described as kind of like Daisy Jones and the Six. Like people kind of relate it to that a little bit because I think it's interview style like Daisy Jones and the Six is, by Lane Fargo. I've heard amazing things about this. So I think it's about two ice skaters, maybe, perhaps. I don't know. I feel like we should give it a try and just see how it goes. I'm also interested in the Mindfuck series, which I've never read before. I know it's like 5 novellas put into one big book, and I feel like maybe that's good for some because it's fast paced. But I think I'm gonna go into The Favorites by Lynn Fargo. And then I also want to fill out my reading journal from reading before I let go, and so I'm gonna set up everything, and then I will show you guys my process with my reading journal and how I keep up with things. And yeah, slump is really killing me, you guys. It really is. I'm really trying so hard to get out of it because I want to fall back like in love with reading again. You know, like reading is such an escape for me, and I love it so freaking much, and I just like want to be back in that space where I just want to do nothing but read. But yeah, we'll get there. It's a process. This is like my first real reading slump, I feel like. And it is shitty. I will say it is very shitty, but hopefully I can get over it soon. Okay, you guys, we are in the car. I decided instead of buying it on Kindle, because I do this thing where even though I buy it on Kindle, I still will buy the hard copy. So instead of buying The Favorites on Kindle, I just came to the best place on earth, which is Barnes & Noble, of course. So let's go and see if we can find anything else. We're going to try and find The Favorites. It says that they have it online. It's usually true. If it says that they have it, they usually have it. So let's go and do some book shopping, and maybe this will get me more excited to read. Again, book slump, she's here. I'm hoping she's not here to stay. Successfully went to Barnes, and I'm gonna do a little book haul. Obviously, The Favorites. I'm going to start this. Right now I'm gonna go on the roof because it's nice out. We're gonna read this because I've heard amazing fucking things about it. And then I completely forgot that Tuesday the new Lucy score came out. So I obviously had to pick that up, and look at the sprayed edges. I do think like big retailers like Barnes & Noble and stuff are starting to overdo the sprayed edges, I think, because I think it's just a money grab. Like if a popular book gets like a new edition, people are going to be like, oh my god, I need it. Let's stop doing that, okay? And then finally, I've been wanting to read this one forever. I got Alone with You in the Ether, I don't know, by Olivia Blake. I've read, which one is this right here? I read One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake, and I literally loved it. I did feel a little bit stupid reading it because the writing is a little bit pretentious, so I don't know if this is the same. But yeah, these made me really excited to read. I'm going to go start The Favorites right now. I'm trying to figure out if I want to annotate it because I don't know if it's like annotation worthy. I mean, I have a feeling it might be, so maybe I'll just like get out the supplies just in case and do it. So yeah, let's go read. Look at Scout in the back. I am laying on my couch the day after St. Patrick's weekend. I'm already on page 150. I actually cannot put this book down. Like, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I'm kind of getting 5-star feelings from this book. Like, it's a mix of Daisy Jones and the Six with like drama, like Magnolia Parks. Like, And those are two of my favorite books. Like, you know, Magnolia Parks and the Daisy 8 series is my all-time favorite series. Daisy Jones and the Six is one of my favorite books ever. And the reason I'm saying that, Larry just posted a reading blog and it literally sparked it. I was like, because she said that. She said Daisy Jones and the Six and Magnolia Parks. It is so true. And they're also childhood, like, best friends to lovers. And now they're kind of starting to, like, dislike each other. And we get interview flashbacks. And it is so good. There's so much drama and all these characters are so flawed. But, like, I feel like I have an attachment to all of them. Except for the male main character. As of right now, he's kind of pissing me off. But I see why he is acting the way he is, because the female main character is kind of being a bitch and kind of like not being a good friend or girlfriend. But oh my god, it is so good, you guys. Like, I just don't want to put it down. I'm already on part 3. I'm 150 pages in. I'm on part 3. Oh my god. Like, it is so good. I'm literally like loving it. I don't want to like say anything else, but I'm gonna keep reading and update you guys on if it's still gonna be a 5-star feeling a little bit more into the book, because I'm literally obsessing over it. Guys, I'm on chapter 56. I'm more than halfway done, but I'm getting so annoyed. In like the interview style section of this book, there's like a judge, an ice skating judge who's getting interviewed like constantly throughout the book, and her name's Jane. She is such a bitch. Like, she has nothing nice to say about the two main characters. There has not been one single time where she's like been nice, and I'm like, what is her problem? And it's really pissing me off. It's like the tiniest part of the book and like it doesn't even matter, but she's being so negative and mean to them, and it's really ticking me off. You don't have anything nice to say about like these two amazing athletes. It's really pissing me off. I'm obsessed with this book. I literally can't put it down. I have such 5-star feelings, and I literally just like want to stay up all night reading it, and I have not felt that way about a book in so long. Like, I literally am so happy I picked this book up, because it is really like, I feel like I'm getting out of my slump with this. I do not want to put it down. Also, another thing, I've been saying how it's been like nice in Pittsburgh for once, and it's been like that for like the last week and a half, 2 weeks, and today it was like freezing again, like 30 some degrees. And I opened the book today, and this is the first thing I read. Let me read it. And Pittsburgh isn't the Midwest. Some people say it is, but I do not believe it is. But it says, in the Midwest, we call the first warm spell of the year full spring, because we know from bitter experience the lovely weather can't last. Another cold snap lurks right around the corner, ready to lunge as soon as we shed our winter coats. That doesn't mean we don't enjoy every minute of it, though. Like, that's literally been me for the past 2 weeks, and now it's freaking freezing again. And I'm just like, I can't wait for like warm weather, you know? Like, I've been reading outside and I've been enjoying it so much. Now we're back to freaking 30-degree weather. Like, come on. I love authors who just get it. So obviously with skating, they have music and choreography, and this is the last time they are ever skating together, and they're using The Last Time by Taylor Swift. Authors who just get it without being cringy and annoying, like, they just get it, and I freaking love this author. What's her name? Lane Fargo. You get it. Lane Fargo, babe, you just get it. And I also want to mention again about The Last Time. That was one of my surprise songs in Pittsburgh. I forget if it was night 1 or 2. I went to both, but I wasn't sure. I'm not sure which night it was, but it was literally life-changing hearing that live. And I'm reading about it now as they're skating to it, and it just, I love it. Guess who found her first 5-star read of the year? I finished The Favorites by Lane Fargo yesterday. This was so well written, and I always say this. I always say that if an author can write flawed characters and still, in a way, get you to care about them and what happens to them and care about the decisions they're making, that is a good author. That is someone who knows how to write a book, can write an amazing book. Okay, I put a headband and my bangs are bothering me. If an author can write a book like that, that's a good author. And I am now going to pick up other books that Lane Fargo has read because of this book. This was a book that I was not expecting any of it to happen. I was not able to guess what was going to happen next. I felt like I was getting slapped in the face left and right whenever something happened. The end of each chapter, I was like, wait, I have to keep going. I have to keep going. And that is when I know I love a book. And from the second I picked it up, I had a 5-star feeling. I love the interview style in books. I've realized with Daisy Jones and the Sixth and now this book, I love the interview style of books. Like, they are just so good. And I also like in this one how it's like chapters of her telling a story and then the interview chapter. So it's not all interview, but it is so good. And I'm one of those girls who are like, yeah, that was a 5-star rating. Someone's like, well, what's it about? And it's just like me like this. Like, it was so good. And oh my God, I just like can't get over it. I feel like I'm gonna be thinking about it for the rest of my life. I'm literally giving this to every person I know and telling them to read it. I think that this really did just pull me out of my slump. I'm like so excited to read more. But with that being said, I want to mark the last 2 books I read into my reading journal, and I'm going to like set up my camera and show you guys all that and how I do that. I'm currently watching the Ellen Pompeo episode of Call Her Daddy because I am a huge Grey's Anatomy fan, if you guys didn't know that. So yeah, I'm gonna put that on and then I'm gonna show you guys what I do in my reading journal. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do like a spread just for this. I usually don't do that. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. If I really enjoy a book, like if I have a 5-star book, I'll make an aesthetic spread just for that. So I might do that, but I'm gonna show you like my spreads and how I do my reading journal. Okay, so of course I have my nails done 24/7. You will literally never catch me without my nails done. And of course, whenever I'm doing this where you can see my nails, I don't have my nails done. But this is my reading journal. I got it from Amazon. I really like the Amazon notebooks because the pages are really thick and don't bleed. So this is just like my little cover page. And then this is where I put all of the books that I read in 2025, and then I just color them in. So I will put Before I Let Go and the favorites, and then I let that dry because I have an issue where I just color it in right away, and you can see here it like leaks, and that's a me issue. So then I'll just pick a random color from my markers and I'll color it in. And of course, what did I say? I didn't wait long enough for it to dry, whatever. And so by the end of the year, it'll be a nice, beautiful, colorful bookshelf. So, and then the next page is where I have my TBR card. These are like books that have been on my TBR for a long time. And of course, neither of the books that I picked up to read were on the TBR cart. But then I have a tracker. So I have my 1-star, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5. And then the specific markers that I chose for those, I labeled with a little piece of tape at the end here, and I wrote down because there's so many markers and I always forget which color is which. So I rated Before I Let Go 3.5. So like I said, Before I Let Go 3.5. So I'm going to take my 3.5 marker and I'm just going to color in the 5th book of the year. Then I'm going to take my 5-star and I'm going to color it in, and I'm so excited. And then this, I just have my reading log again to just kind of keep track of the titles I read, the authors, the genres, the pages. It also makes it easier for the end of the year. Whenever I do a wrap up, I can put all of the average rating and all the like how many pages I read. So 5th book I read was Before I Let Go. It was a romance / a literary fiction, I'd say. I rated it 3.5. It was 391 pages. So there's that. And then this is like my most anticipated releases page that I made that I enjoyed doing. And then we have our monthly tracker. Okay, so in January, again, slump, only read 1 book. In February, I've read 3. And then in March so far, we have read 2. So I'm gonna pick a color. Let's do green because obviously St. Patrick's Day, we'll do a greenish color. And then I will mark that I read. Okay, so for this, I do think that the 2 books I read can be romance or literary fiction, but I think I'm going to make favorites a literary fiction, and I'm going to make Before I Let Go a romance. So yeah, as you can see, I didn't read any further nonfiction or memoirs yet this year. I am reading before The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, so that will be in a nonfiction category. But yeah, that is my little setup in my reading journal. Okay, you guys, for my last book, I decided to start Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan because it's just been nice out and I kind of want to like just read a nice summer romance read, okay? I know that Des Sidwell, this was like her favorite book of last year, and I am really enjoying it. I just don't know, maybe I'm like not in a super romance mood, but then again, I look back and I'm not even halfway through And look at all the tabs I have. Like, the writing really is beautiful, and it makes me feel something where I'm like, she put that into words, and that's like never anything that I would think someone else would understand, and she puts it into words. Like, even just this one, like, I am struck by the fact that time is a powerful thing. Like, just like little things like that, I'm like, I would never think to like put something like that into words. So I am enjoying it. I'm almost halfway through, not quite there yet, but I'll update you guys on how I feel. It is a nice, cute read. But yeah, again, just a contemporary romance, but I feel like it is going to be a little bit more hard-hitting than like your typical everyday romance book. This is what I was talking about earlier whenever I said she can put things and feelings into words that I would never be able to explain. This is how she is like explaining the feeling of liking someone and having a crush. He's the first thing I think of when I open my eyes. I close them again and conjure the smell of him. I open my eyes again. This is not normal. This isn't a one like when I want to buy a sweater. This is a one like I don't know how I'm going to get through the next 3 hours until I see him again. Like, that just like overwhelming feeling where like you're like, oh my god, I like this person so much, I need to go to a psych ward. Like, I would have never been able to put that into words like she just did there. All right, you guys, I've officially finished Summer Romance, and I settled on a 4-star. It was really good. It was a beautiful story. The only reason why it's not rated higher is, for me personally, whenever I read books, my favorite thing is connecting with the stories and being able to relate to the characters. This felt very adult, and while I am an adult, I am 24 years old, I live on my own, there was like divorce, kids, navigating all that stuff, so it wasn't easy for me to relate to it. However, I feel like if you are someone of that age, like the main girl character was, I think that we said 37. Oh, okay. Hi, I'm speaking, okay. The main girl character was 37, and again, I just feel like whenever I really relate to characters, that's whenever I really, really love a book. So you want to be on camera so bad. So yeah, you guys, I think I can officially say I am out of my reading slump. It's been a grueling process, okay? Sorry, I keep going back and forth because someone wants to just be in the camera. So, you know, my favorite book out of this, of course, was The Favorite. That is my first 5-star in a really, really, really long time. If you take anything from this book, from this video, please read that book. But yeah, I feel like I'm falling in love with reading again, and it makes me really happy. And Chloe Walsh just announced, what was it, Claiming 10, Lizzie and Huey's book. I'm very excited for that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.